how important, Jegan, is hedging?
Started investments late, started hedging only after 5 years of me. Hedging is very important because in option selling, right? So it's like a addiction. So hedging is not important, but your war should be in a control.
A working strategy that has worked for you.
I changed my mind to capture both direction at the same time decay. Selective amnesia when it comes to overtrading. Overtrading in general it is bad to health. But the question is when to stop overtrading in an intraday.
I mean, that's the key learning.
You try to learn from them.
Hello all and welcome to the next episode of Bold by BlinkX. Today we have a very special guest, Jegan, as he's very fondly called. Welcome to the show, Jegan. Thank you so much for taking time. Romba nandri. Jegan doesn't need an introduction. Jegan is an ace algo trader. He started his career as an algo tradist way back in 2015 with a small capital of 3 lakhs. And today, there are so many things that we can talk about, Jegan, which can't actually fit in one day. I'll allow him to tell us about his journey. Thank you so much, Jegan, for being part of Bold by BlinkX. So let's start your journey, Jegan.
Sure.
How did you start into stock markets? What prompted you?
The prompt was from the book Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
Okay, so in a tough day, right? So there was no internet, there was no electricity. Had been forced to read some books because there is no other option. That day I read this Rich Dad Poor Dad. So I came to know that big people, either they do the business or they do the investments. So of course, to do the investments, you need the money. So we have to do the business.
Correct.
Then I thought that actually from the books, what I read, you have to do what big people are doing. So I came to stock market. So when I came to stock market, there are a number of options, right? You can trade in commodities, you can trade in cash market, futures, option buy, option selling. So when I did a basic analysis, I came to know that big people, big shots, institution, they sell options. It may be true, it may not be true that time, but I had a belief that the person who is having a higher capital will sell options.
Okay.
So that is how I started coming to stock market and started selling options.
Okay.
Until now, I'm selling options.
Okay. Even in the market, Jegan, you're known as an ace option seller. So that's how you made your name and money, you know. So primarily, if you can let us know, what are the typical mistakes you made initially? This mistakes typically is what will train our customers to not repeat them.
So there are some mistakes I made, but it did not cause any damage to me.
Okay.
But later, before it damages, actually I corrected, but it was a mistake.
Okay.
I'll tell you some example, okay?
Yeah.
Say for example, 2015, 16, 17, before Corona, right? So I was selling naked option in intraday and positional.
True.
It was totally risky. Okay. And luckily, actually, no such big gap up or gap down did not happen.
What happened in those years?
Yeah, those years. Only the gaps that happened in 2016 when Trump was elected. So that was the time actually I had a 5%.
The gap still follows.
Yeah, correct. Gap down and then it went up.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing actually I did a mistakes. Okay, so selling option is okay, but you have to sell it either in a stop loss in intraday or you have to buy the hedges for overnight. So that was the one learning. Second learning is actually yeah, true. I was making money in option selling since 2015 to till now. Okay, year on year. Okay, you can always get it into MCA report. The thing is, I did not invest from the day one.
Okay.
So because in option selling, you can invest into the market and then use this as a collateral, that I know. But I'm really worried about if market goes down, my collateral value will come down, my trading profit will come down.
Absolutely.
So initial 7 to 8 years, I did not invest. So last 2 years, I had been investing. So that mistakes I did. I would have invested into the market since 2015. Then maybe 14 or 12 to 14% CAGR. I would have got only 3 investments, apart from trading. So of course, I parked my money in a debt. I got 7% interest. Right? but I would have done it in equity, some more component, which I did in the last 2 years. Yeah, these are the two mistakes. So started investments late, started hedging only after 5 years of my career.
But how important, Jagan, is hedging?
Hedging is very important because in option selling, right? So it's like a addiction. So you sell options, most of the time you are going to be right. It's not something your skill, it is because of the time decay.
Correct.
But once in a while, it is going to hit you hard and it is going to wipe out your profit. Not only profit, it is going to wipe out your entire capital. So in general term, we can say it's a risk, but actual term is war, value at risk. How much risk you possess when you trade. Because you can have a stop loss in intraday, but you can't have a stop loss overnight.
Absolutely.
So thus, at any point of time, if you are in option selling, my point is don't lose more than 10 to 20% of your capital in worst of worst cases. Your war should be close to 10 to 20% of your overall capital, for which you need to hedge the option, because some people buy the hedge, but they buy the hedge for the sake of buying.
I've observed that in certain.
Okay. So 10 rupees wala you are selling and 0.50 paisa you are buying. That is far OTM.
Correct.
Just to get the hedging benefit.
So the benefit
War is then your war is actually so big. That's the reason why I'm saying hedging is not important, but your war should be in a control. The hedge should be in a place in such a way that your war is in control. War is a value at risk. How much risk you are possessing when you carry the position overnight.
So that is exactly the indication of your risk appetite.
Correct.
Not the hedging part. That's what you're saying. Oh, understood. Understood. Now, if you look at many option traders, in the market, there is something called this is working for me. It's a working strategy, right? Like you consistently said, I have been selling options and then I started investing a couple of years back, and that's where you made a mistake. Typically, what is a working strategy that has worked for you in
Okay, so I got your point. So my strategy is most of the time, sometimes you make money, okay. You believe that whatever you are doing is actually is making money, okay. But when you do something, it may be a series of tasks. Example,
Okay.
you create a short straddle example. So you decided that actually you create a short straddle. When that position is going loss, you are going to do adjustments, and adjustment you are coming in a profit. So it is a good system. It is giving a profit for 5 years of time. But if you do this analysis properly, the first short straddle that you create in 5 years of time, it is not making any profit at all. The only the adjustments gave a profit.
Correct.
So if you are dividing your system into n number of pieces, you will come to know which piece would have given a profit.
True.
But yeah, as a complete list of task you did, right? It has given a profit. The same way, I would have done short strangle, short straddle, n number of things and this thing, right? But end of the day, near to the expiry,
Correct.
the theta will give a profit. Longer to the expiry, okay, is mainly the market direction is going to give a profit, especially in option selling. Okay, so the recent times what I the change what I did in option selling is, right, I changed my mind to capture both direction at the same time decay. So that has given a phenomenal return since since last 3 years.
So how did you find this beautiful combination of direction and time decay? Is it
The thing is, you need to have a multiple strategies. One strategy is for time decay. One strategy is for
direction?
market direction. Correct. So one example I can give is,
Yeah.
for example,
Please.
instead of selling a straddle, if you are selling in the money short straddle, in the money short straddle, and you are having a stop loss, say for example, then you have more potential to make money when market is trending. Say for example, 100 rupees is a short straddle. But if you are selling 150 or 150 in the money call, in the money put,
Correct.
and you are having stop loss, one side stop loss is hit, other side you have so much premium to pocket it in a market is trending. But if you are doing a short strangle, regular short straddle for 30 rupees or 40 rupees or 50 rupees or regular short straddle, you have a less potential to make money. So this is the learning what I took in recent times. Okay. So especially right now with respect to the option selling, the options are priced efficiently right now.
Correct.
The reason is actually the more and more crowd is coming. Okay. The option pricing will be priced more efficiently.
Correct.
So thus, to get a profit only out of time decay, it is really tough. Okay, you have to be directional as well.
Yeah. Given the more number of players who are walking in, obviously the
You take a commodity in example.
correct.
Okay, commodity, when there is a price movement upside, your call price will increase by 10%. Your put price also will decrease by 10%.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen with the NSE and BSE. When there is a 10% price hike in the call side, the put side is only maybe 5% down
True.
or 8% down.
True.
So the price, the way it works, it is not same in all instrument.
So how do you get the mathematical part right?
I don't do much of mathematic part, but I do much of quant part.
Okay.
Okay. So when I do a quant, right? So when I move the stop loss, when I trial, it works differently in commodity. It works differently in NSE, say Nifty. It works differently in Sensex because Sensex volume is different, Nifty volume is different.
Absolutely.
The concept may be same, but the way it behaves, it is completely different. Even you take crypto also, it is completely different. Okay. So according to the underlying, you do the quant part, which stop loss is working, how the trailing is working, what time the decay is coming, what time the target is going to hit. Historically it has happened. So you give a more weightage to the recent bias.
Okay.
You backtest for 2 years, 3 years or 5 years, but you give more weightage to the recent bias because the more and more people coming, the market is getting matured, the prices also will
Understood.
the prices also will behave in different way.
So here is the thing. So when I look at a lot of these option sellers or even in the cash segment intraday, there is always this battle between over leverage, size of the position, sometimes revenge trading. I lost money in this, so I may make money in the same segment as the case may be. That's something that I have typically observed, that if I have lost money, we want to do. Where do you actually start rationalizing this? Is it the loss that makes you better, or it's the profit that makes you better?
The thing is, okay, so I have a selective amnesia when
Okay.
it comes to over trading.
That's a good one. That's a good one, Jagan. Selective amnesia.
Because in intraday, when I make loss,
Yeah.
okay, and people say actually don't do over trading. Actually speaking, I do over trading in intraday for expiry day. I'll tell you why. Over trading in general, it is bad to health. Okay.
Correct.
Because there is no guarantee that the trade you are going to place next, it is having a positive alpha, positive edge. But option selling, it is not the case. You have positive edge always, expiry day, the time decay is there. Okay. So thus, if we're taking commodity expiry in recent times, we had a loss closed at around 9 o'clock. Then we start selling because our margin is free. Okay. So we start selling manually the options. Okay. And eventually we made a profit. But the question is when to stop over trading in an intraday with respect to option selling.
That's the point. Yeah.
With respect to option selling, because I am not I mean, I don't have experience with the futures and other trading style.
I get it.
Okay. You have a intraday portfolio stop loss of 2% in expiry day. Till the time, till you have a margin, you sell option, trying to capture that detail because you have an edge. Market is not making any move, you are going to make a profit.
Correct.
So thus, unless otherwise your portfolio stop loss is hit, okay, if your portfolio stop loss is not hit, you continue, try to collect more premium, try to earn the time decay. You do all adjustments, you do all jugglery, shift adjustments, roll, do all these things to come to the profit zone. That you can do. But once you hit a portfolio stop loss, then don't do any trading.
I mean, that's the key learning. That once you hit the portfolio stop loss, then just
This
stop.
portfolio stop loss, you can keep it your number. Sometimes you 1% of the capital or 1% of the capital, 2%.
Is there an ideal number?
Yeah, ideal number for me for expiry date is 2%.
Okay.
Because the edge is high, so I'm giving a cushion. For non-expiry day, I keep 1%. So that way actually you can keep, okay. And when it comes to the loss of the overnight and the positional one, once you made a loss in positional, next day, whatever the capital I have, that is my capital.
Correct.
Even when I make a profit, whether I make a profit or loss, that is my capital.
So you have that discipline,
That is
irrespective of whatever happens overnight.
correct.
I mean, I think that's the key.
Moreover, so far I made so good money in a market. So I mean, if your loss is little loss, it is not going to irritate you. Okay. So over a period of time, the money earned what in the market will give more confidence than any analysis you do.
So obviously, I mean, we spoke about your hedging strategies, and you primarily are an option seller, and then your hedging, range is 1% and 2%. We understood
That is an intraday, not in
Yeah.
position.
Not in position. But if I were to ask you, if you step back and say, this kind of a market can make me lose sleep, is there something like that?
Honestly speaking, more than a market, the only certain things like premium is spiking without any reason, that's manipulation I don't like with respect to the market for sure, and I have a stop loss. But I always, the nightmare for me actually, always the systematic risk, not even a market risk. I mean, broker going down,
Okay.
exchange is going down. I mean, I am connected to the broker is connected to the server, that server is going down. Sometimes the stop loss is removed by the exchange, because I do trade. It has happened with the M6, it has happened with the NSE, it has happened with the BSE. So
Things beyond your control.
this
That's what
beyond your control is called systematic risk.
Correct.
And you did not do a mistakes, but you will be
penalized. Correct. But that's what worries you.
that is the way.
But the worry is not error in your judgment.
Correct.
Okay. I mean, that because obviously the fact that you've kind of been doing it for the last 11 years now, you've kind of perfected the art. Awesome. If I were to be an intraday trader, and if I want to move totally out of cash segment into options, what is the 2-3 things that I need to keep in mind?
From intraday
To options.
options. So intraday to options you can move, but options there is again two category, right? Option buying and option selling.
So assuming we say something that you love, it is selling.
Selling, okay.
Yeah.
So my first before you come to the option selling,
Yeah.
you completely you just to pass the exam, which I tell to everyone whom I meet. Okay.
Okay.
NISM derivatives chapter 8, you go and pass. It is 1,800 rupees. You
Yeah.
get a nice book, you go write the exam. Okay.
Not get your 60 rupees, 60%.
60% right
Yeah.
now, right? So that is not something to qualify as a derivative. At least you will come to know what is what, how the margin is blocked, what are the strategies available,
True.
how the things will work, the basic jargons and what is what you will come to know. Then what you do actually, then you study the option data. Okay, right now in market it is easily available through n number of tools.
True.
All tools are less than 1,000 rupees. It's very pocket friendly.
True.
You go and apply your thesis where you feel that this is how the market will go up, you feel that this is how market will come down. Because being an option seller, there are n number of variety of option seller available. Somebody will do only the time decay, somebody will do only like a kind of arbitrage through butterfly.
True.
Somebody will do into those synthetic futures and this one,
So many
things. Okay.
Yeah.
You have your own thesis. Okay, so which one is good for you? So and you find out the tools. Okay, you go and apply your logic and find out that actually whether you have alpha positive edge or not.
Okay.
Okay, then you apply the brokerage slippages and everything, operation cost. After that, it is worth doing. What is the drawdown it takes historically?
Okay.
Then you can go and do with a small quantity. If things are good, then you could go full.
So if somebody is trying to get the art of option selling right for many years and not getting so for whatever reason, right? How does one consistently build the kind of confidence that we obviously see that you have gone through your share of learning? is there a recommended set of steps for somebody to get right in option setting, for example?
Recommended steps is, in my opinion, right? So, as I said, actually, NISM exam, if we pass, we'll come to know what is what.
Correct.
The next thing is actually you find out the people who are in the same
Circular.
circle, the same
Yeah.
thought process. Like, are they doing, if you like expiry trading, who are doing expiry trading?
Okay.
If you're somebody maybe doing a positional one, actually iron condor or iron fly consistently,
Correct,
making
correct,
profit, you try to learn from them. If you're not able to, okay, if you're earning, if you're able to do it yourself, it is fine, okay.
Great.
Then you can create your own fortune. And for something it is not working, then you have to get the knowledge from other people only, okay. So there is no other options. So you try to get the knowledge from other. Either you should do, or you should get the knowledge from other.
Okay, so it is not something that you it's an art that you had to keep practicing. It's a number full time job chal raha hamari India.
Illa, no, the thing is you should not keep trying and again. I'll tell you what happened, okay? The thing is when something is not coming to you, where you are trying and again. Say for example, you are a marathon, you want to run a marathon, you are trying and again. It's a time waste.
Correct.
You are trying to do, say for example, IAS exam. Trying to do again and again, time waste, okay? But you are in stock market, you are coming, trying again and again, not only time waste.
Money also was lost. Absolutely. The boot was over. Absolute.
So that keep trying again and again should not happen in a trading. Okay, so you need to have a stop loss to a trading. Sometimes trading may not be your cup of tea.
Okay. So I may not be made for this kind of stress.
Yeah, keep trying. It may be a good thing, but in trading it is not good. Because
Oh, wow, lovely. You put a beautiful statement again, which actually comes me to one last point is there a trading myth? Is there something that people believe is true and is not so in your
people still believe that after so many loss only you will make money. That is how in social media they project. That is the reason why people are trying again and again.
and that's
They feel that actually they are in learning process, and end of the day actually they will not have any money in hands.
so at some point in time they have to learn that this is either made for me or I'm not made for this.
Yes, after learning also for someone actually it may not work
It may not work.
because of their psychology. They learned all the concept, everything. I know that in IIT and IIM people are so brilliant, but still they are very I mean they're very less number of people in a trading. They are very brilliant. They're very sharp, but it is not only the knowledge part, the psychology
part.
part also is very important. How do you manage the profit and risk wise, time, everything, how you manage is also very important, right? So after learning also it may not work.
So that's the kind of internalization of understanding one has to do.
Correct.
That's what you're doing. Wow, it was wonderful talking to you, Jagan.
Thank you.
I learned as much as maybe our viewers learned today on option selling and all the strategies. And thank you so much for being part of Bold by BlinkX. Thank you, Jagan. Thank you so much, all of you, for being part of this Bold by BlinkX. We look forward to having another episode soon. Thank you.
Investments in securities markets are subject to market risk. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.